Welcome back, guys. Today we are making my entry to the Flower Power 2021 Cocktail Challenge. So I decided to make use of the most annoying flower and abundant flower, the dandelion. So I'm out here with my son and we are picking dandelions, putting them in this bowl here. And as you can see, they are everywhere. No shortage of dandelions here. I figured why not try to make something. So we picked about probably like 75 to 100 of them. So the next thing we did is wash them in cold water because, you know, they're outside and there's going to be bugs in them and stuff. So make sure to rinse them good. And then we're going to let them dry on some paper towel. And we need 50 of them to make our Dandelion Liqueur. That's right. That's what we're making today. So 50 flowers is what we need. We're going to pick off all the yellow petals, try to get no green whatsoever. A couple of them are going to make it through, that's no big deal, but try to get just the yellow. To that, we're adding 1 cup of Overproof Rum. Of course, I'm using Wray & Nephew. It's my favorite rum for making liqueurs. I like it because it's high proof, but also it's got a really nice flavor to it. Sometimes you don't want flavor in a liqueur, but I like adding flavor from the rum, you know? You could use a neutral spirit, but I figure why not add something? So we're gonna let that steep for about 4 or 5 days. And after that, it looks really gross. I was really worried that it went bad or it's just gonna be really stinky, but whatever, we're gonna pull through. And we're gonna strain that through 2 coffee filters in a funnel. And as you can see, it changed the color quite a bit. We're also going to make a honey simple syrup. So this is just a 1-to-1 simple syrup, but we're also adding 1/4 part of honey. So it's not a full-on honey syrup. I didn't want to add too much honey flavor, but I wanted a little bit of honey to add a nice fragrance and really complement the floral notes of our dandelion liqueur. So I'm obviously making way too much here. All right, so just stir until everything is combined, everything is dissolved, and then we're going to add 1 cup of our honey simple syrup to our mason jar with the infused rum. And that's pretty much it. That's the liqueur right there. Give that a good mix. Now, I wasn't too happy with the color, so I added a couple drops of yellow food coloring. Obviously, that's optional. You don't need it. It's all purely for aesthetics. I just wanted that vibrant yellow color. It's dandelion liqueur. It's got to be yellow. So I let that sit for an additional 2 days. As you can see, a lot of sediment started forming. That's completely normal. It's just particles that are kind of falling out of suspension. You really don't have to filter them out, but I like to. It clarifies the liqueur a little bit. And there it is. There's your dandelion liqueur. It's not bad. It's kind of like a rum-based drambuie. It's floral. It's honey forward. I was wondering though, should I have used the Wray & Nephew because it's a little overpowering. But then again, if I use something more neutral, it might have been not flavorful at all because the dandelion is very subtle. It's very, very subtle flavor. But overall, this would require more experimenting, which I'm not gonna do. So with that said, let's just make a cocktail, shall we? We're gonna make a Dandy Julep, which is gonna be a mint julep using our dandelion liqueur. So we're gonna start with a julep cup, of course, and we're gonna take about, look at the size of that mint, it's huge. This is some store-bought mint. We're gonna do about 6 to 8 mint leaves in the glass. And then I'm gonna grab my dandelion liqueur and do 1.5 ounces. So 1.5 ounces of our dandelion into the glass. So it is really nice and floral. I mean, I don't know if that's really dandelion flavor, but hey, it's not bad. Okay, so for our spirit, I was thinking bourbon might be a little too strong. I wanted something a little lighter, a little milder and fruitier, so I decided to go with some Calvados apple brandy. I figured the apple notes would complement the floral notes, and it worked out pretty well. So 1 ounce of apple brandy. We're then going to grab our muddler and give that mint a gentle pressing. You don't have to do this. I mean, it's going to get enough agitation. I always like to give a little press on the mint whenever I'm making juleps or drinks with mint. Okay, now I also added 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. just in case the liqueur was not sweet enough. Turns out it was not necessary, but you can leave it out. It didn't ruin the drink, but it didn't need that extra sweetness. All right, just like a normal julep, we're going to fill her up with some crushed ice. And grab your spoon and just give it a good mix. So obviously you can't really stir a julep like this, otherwise you're gonna get crushed ice flying everywhere. But we're just kind of lifting it up, stirring it around, bring some of that mint to the top. And as you can see, the condensation will start to form on the outside of your julep pewter, and it's gonna look really nice. There you go. We're gonna top off with more crushed ice, give it that signature snow cone on top. Lovely. Okay, let's get a straw going. For garnish, we're going to do the obligatory mint sprig. And since we're doing this for Flower Power 2021, we got our garnish with the flowers. So get a couple dandelions. Don't worry, those were cleaned. They weren't peed on or anything. No bugs. I made sure of that. And just stick them there next to the mint sprig. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Look at that. All right, so I was thinking I'm done, and I gave it a quick taste, and then suddenly I was hit with some inspiration. Why don't we top with a couple dashes of Lavender Bitters? And this is going to give it just an extra fragrance, an extra floral bit on top. And this was definitely a good julep. A little too sweet. I could have left out that simple syrup, but it was floral, it was honey. You taste the apples from the Calvados. The Ray Nephew funk really comes through. The lavender on the nose really comes through. I mean, whether or not I'm definitely getting floral. Whether or not that's actually coming from the dandelion or not, I couldn't ask me. It's such a subtle flavor. I couldn't tell you, but it was enjoyable. As a liqueur, it's not terrible. But as a drink, I enjoyed it. Oh, you did not. Cheers, guys.